What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Tuesday, January 12, 2016, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. David Bowie was known as the Thin White Duke, or to some, or Ziggy Stardust, Aladdin Sane, the Starman, or just simply Bowie. Regardless of what he was called, the multi-talented artist's various names were always coupled with the word legend. Bowie, who died at the age of 69 after a battle with cancer, was one of the most influential music artists of the past 50 years. His passing has been noted by many artists and celebrities and even world leaders who took to social media yesterday to share their sadness and recall his impact on contemporary music. Paul McCartney released a statement on Facebook saying, very sad news to wake up on this rainy morning. David was a great star, and I treasured the moments we had together. His music plays a very strong part in British music history, and I'm proud to think of the huge influence he's had on people all over the world. I send my deepest sympathies to his family, and will always remember the great laughs we had through the years. His star will shine in the sky forever. Mick Jagger released a statement by saying David was always an inspiration to me and a true original. He was wonderfully shameless in his work. We had so many good times together. He was my friend. I will never forget him. The Queen of Pop, Madonna, said in a statement shared on Facebook, I'm devastated. David Bowie changed the course of my life forever. I never felt like I fit in growing up in Michigan, like an oddball or a freak. I went to see him in concert at Cabo Arena in Detroit. It was the first concert I'd ever been to. I snuck out of the house with my girlfriend wearing a cape. We got caught after, and I was grounded for the summer. I didn't care. I already had many of his records and was so inspired by the way he played with gender confusion. Was both masculine and feminine. Very funny and serious, clever and wise. Thank you, David Bowie. I owe you a lot. The world will miss you. Love, M. Elton John wrote on Instagram, I am still in shock. Never saw it coming. My deepest condolences to Iman and the family. An amazing life and amazing career. Justin Timberlake wrote on Instagram, I can never express into words how you will continue to inspire me. Thank you for showing a pimple-faced, curly mop kid that different was the thing to be. Annie Lennox wrote on Facebook, like a gazillion other people, I felt stunned by the news that David Bowie has departed this earth. At the loss of someone who has impacted and influenced your life, you can hardly begin to measure the shape of what's left behind. Our personal and collective inner landscape has shifted, and we're trying to come to terms with it. No one exists forever, and it seems our elegant gentleman was well aware that his last moral chapter was about to reach its conclusion. Lenny Kravitz shared on Instagram, I just woke up and I'm blown away by the news. This man changed my life. I'd have to write a book to describe what he meant to me. I would not be here without his influence on my life. The fact that I got to know him and make music with him is a blessing from God in the highest order. What he gave the world was his art is immeasurable. My deepest condolences goes out to the family. Rest sweetly, dear David, hashtag rest in peace, David Bowie. Alicia Keys caption, sending my prayers and loves to my beautiful friend Iman and her family on this day. Through all his alter egos, David Bowie was one singular thing, a true artist. He graciously performed 3 songs at Keep a Child Alive's Black Ball in 2006, and I have never seen an audience so enraptured. Thank you for all the inspiration, especially the message to all of us to be completely who you are. Oscar winner Anne Hathaway tweeted, safe journey home, Starman. Thank you for everything. Rest in peace at David Bowie. Macklemore tweeted, tonight we will be dancing in memory of one of my heroes. Thank you for indefinitely inspiring us. Rest in peace, David Bowie. Reese Witherspoon wrote on Instagram, thank you, David Bowie, for all the artistry, creativity, and music you put in this world. What a gift you gave us all. Katie Holmes caption a pic of Bowie by saying, thank you for giving so much to our world. Hashtag rest in peace. Hashtag David Bowie. Catherine Zeta-Jones caption, we will miss you on earth, but the night sky will be forever bright. Thank you for sharing your immeasurable talents with us. Jamie Lee Curtis wrote on Instagram, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Hashtag Rebel Rebel, hashtag Let's Dance. Howard Stern recalled on his Sirius XM show on Monday, tomorrow's my birthday, and I bring it up because one of the greatest birthday shows ever was the year that David Bowie showed up. He was so relevant, I just loved that Bowie was more relevant than ever. Yoko Ono wrote, John, referring to John Lennon, and David respected each other. They were well matched in intellect and talent. As John and I had very few friends, we felt David was as close as family. After John died, David was always there for Sean and me. When Sean was at boarding school in Switzerland, David would pick him up and take him on trips to museums and let Sean hang out at his recording studio in Geneva. For Sean, this is losing another father figure. It'll be hard for him, I know, but we have some sweet memories which will stay with us forever. Mariah Carey tweeted, David Bowie will remember your brilliance. Heartfelt condolences to family and friends around the world. Marley Ringwald tweeted, I felt like a piece of my childhood just died. AC/DC tweeted, RIP to a true legend, David Bowie. Benjamin Folds tweeted, songwriter music owes David Bowie a great debt. Such sad, sad news. RIP Bowie. Hosier tweeted, unthinkable, the world has lost one of the most important artists and icons of our time. I was moved immeasurably by David Bowie, R.I.P. Rapper Kendrick Lamar tweeted, what an honor, what a soul, David Bowie, spirit of gold, R.I.P. The Weeknd tweeted, rest in peace, Ziggy. Florence from Florence and the Machine tweeted, David Bowie was a huge influence on me throughout my life. The original Starman returned to the stars. One Republic tweeted, R.I.P. David Bowie, you are and always will be a legend and will continue to inspire for generations. The Doobie Brothers tweeted, David Bowie was an innovator and pioneer. We are so sad to see him go. He will be remembered. Judd Apatow tweeted, David Bowie on Extras was as good as comedy gets. Writer J.K. Rowling tweeted, I wish he could have stayed on Earth longer. Rest in peace. Iggy Pop tweeted, message from Iggy, David's friendship was the light of my life. I never met such a brilliant person. He was the best there is. Iggy Pop. Kanye West tweeted, David Bowie was one of my most important inspirations. So fearless, so creative, he gave us magic for a lifetime. Cher tweeted, devastated, a legend is gone. Foo Fighters, rest in peace, David. Billy Idol tweeted, nearly brought to tears by sudden news of @David Bowie Real, David Bowie's passing, rest in peace. Nickelback tweeted, very sad to hear about David Bowie, timeless music by a fearless artist, thank you. Josh Groban, he never seemed of this earth, now he's left it, he bent rules, genders, genres in our minds, R.I.P. David Bowie, one of a kind. CNN's Anderson Cooper tweeted, find it hard to believe David Bowie has died. What an incredible life. Producer Brian Eno wrote a touching tribute remembering his friend. David's death came as a complete surprise as I did nearly everything else about him. I feel a huge gap. We knew each other for over 40 years in a friendship that was always tingled by echoes of Peter and Dud. Over the last few years, with him living in New York and with me in London, our connection was by email. We signed off with inventive names. Some of his were Mr. Showbiz, Milton Canians, Rhoda Bobrocks, and the Duke of Ear. About a year ago, we started talking about Outside, the last album we worked on together. We both liked that album a lot and felt that it had fallen through the cracks. We talked about revisiting it, taking it somewhere new. I was looking forward to that. I received an email from 7 days ago. It was as funny as always and as surreal, looping through word games and illusions and all the usual stuff we did. It ended with this sentence, thank you for our good times, Brian. They will never rot, and it was signed Dawn. I realize now that he was saying goodbye. Pharrell Williams tweeted, David Bowie was a true innovator, a true creative. May he rest in peace. Alison Moyet tweeted, David Bowie, our greatest, gone and here forever, a world hearts break. Hashtag Bowie. British Prime Minister David Cameron tweeted, I grew up listening to and watching the pop genius David Bowie. He was a master of reinvention who kept getting it right, a huge loss. Diane Warren tweeted, I don't want to hear about the stupid fashion at the Golden Globes. Who gives a fuck? I want to play David Bowie records. Unreal. Portlandian's Carrie Brownstein tweeted, it feels like we lost something elemental, as if an entire color is gone. Russell Crowe tweeted, rest in peace, David. I love your music. I loved you. One of the greatest performance artists to have ever lived. Hashtag sorrow. MIA tweeted, R.I.P. David Bowie, someone who was connected to the source. Gene Simmons from Kiss tweeted, David Bowie will be sorely missed. Bowie's changes and the Ziggy Story songs were a major influence for me. Saya tweeted, so much love to @David Bowie Real's family right now. What a great loss. Rufus Wainwright tweeted, it was a great honor to have met the man who fell to earth. Thankfully, though he visited us here, his music always remained in the heavens. David Bowie has returned to the music. Rest in peace. Longtime producer Tony Visconti said he always did what he wanted to do, and he wanted to do it his way, and he wanted to do it the best way. His death was quite shocking. Haley Williams from Paramore tweeted, rest in peace, David Bowie. Thanks for showing me that you can live many lives inside one lifetime. A lot of hope is in that. Please, you remind me of the baby. Rock legend Peter Gabriel tweeted, I was shocked to learn of David Bowie's death this morning. We'll miss him badly. The Pet Shop Boys released a statement. We are all Bowie's children. He inspired us and changed our lives. Love, gratitude, and respect always for him and his work. Our truest condolences and sympathies to his family, Neil and Chris. She guitarist and producer Nile Rodgers tweeted, #RIP @David Bowie Real. Your life changed my life. Love forever. John Taylor from Duran Duran tweeted, seriously, what could you say to the man who has changed everything and made anything possible? Alice Cooper released a statement, it's hard to know exactly what to say when you hear of someone's passing. I know that I've certainly lost one of my lifetime rock and roll theatrical comrades in David Bowie. We both started in theatrical rock and roll at the same time. In some cases, we challenged each other to go farther and push the envelope. The loss of David Bowie will be hard to swallow for everyone. He leaves behind a rich history of musical and cultural experimentation and invention that will rarely be seen again, if ever. He was one of a kind. The man that fell to earth has gone back to the planet that he came from. Condolences to his family and friends. Pop star Lorde wrote a statement, when a hero dies, everyone wants a quote. I woke up this morning with a tender head from tears and that big red cup of. And Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott wrote about being a fan of Bowie. I heard the news today, oh boy, and I can't believe what I heard. David Bowie is dead. He's been a massive part of my life since I first heard Starman in 1972. So many of us came in that moment, myself, Bono, Boy George, Morrissey, Gary Kemp, Jim Kerr, Brett Anderson, Pete Murphy, Gary Newman, millions of fans, all very different from each other, but all with one thing in common, the belief that a true and rock and roll alien had landed on Earth and he was ours. I own every record he ever made. He was plastered all over my bedroom wall as a kid. He was my very first bootleg. His CDs take up 2 whole shelves in my collection. I have personally recorded over 25 of his songs either on my own, with Leppard, or with the Cybernauts. I met him 2 or 3 times and always found him charming and engaging. It is said, never meet your heroes when they let you down. Bullshit. He was open, funny, and a good listener. And when myself and Phil joined David on stage with Queen, Mick Ronson, and Ian Hunter at the Freddie Mercury tribute gig in 1992, it became one of the most memorable moments of my life. I can't believe he's gone. A huge hole has opened in my heart, and it feels like my youth has been further ripped away from me. At least I have a lifetime of his music to comfort me, as we all have, as he left behind one hell of a legacy. The starman waiting in the skies waits no longer. Rest in peace, David Bowie, and thank you for giving us believers something to believe in. David Bowie's Super Mario wife and widow, Iman, who was married to the legendary musician for 23 years, posted a series of poignant Facebook messages in the days leading up to his death. She wrote on her public Twitter and Facebook account Sunday, the struggle is real, but so is God. The day that her husband died, surrounded by his family after a private 18-month battle with cancer in New York. In the hours after news broke Monday of his death, the Post collected more than 2,000 messages and condolences to the 60-year-old Somalian-American model and the couple's teenage daughter Alexandria. Iman has not commented publicly since her husband's death was announced. She wrote Saturday, sometimes you will never know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Iman reposted a series of old photos of Bowie and a string of loving messages to mark his 69th birthday on Friday. One read, next to a photograph of her husband with Tina Turner, I will love you till I die. I will see you in the skies. # tonight. Happy birthday, Mr. Bowie. Another wrote, happy birthday to the man who fell to earth, forever Bowie. She wrote to her 108,000 Twitter followers Friday, "Life isn't about avoiding the bruises, it's about collecting the scars to prove we show up for it." The couple, who enjoyed one of the most enduring marriages in the celebrity world, wed in 1992 and divided their time between London and New York. Their daughter was born in 2000. One of the most talked about moments from the Golden Globes was when Lady Gaga bumped into Leonardo DiCaprio. The brush-up between the two stars happened Sunday as Gaga was walking past a sitting DiCaprio on her way to accept the award for Best Actress in a limited series or TV movie for her role as the Countess in American Horror Story Hotel. It was then that the pop star accidentally touched the back of DiCaprio as he was laughing with others at his table. The actor's surprise gave Gaga a peculiar look as she passed by. Now, immortalized in GIF form, the viral moment prompted an explanation from DiCaprio. He told Entertainment Tonight, "Oh Lord, that's trending, huh?" He said of his reaction, "I just didn't know what was passing me, that's all." The Golden Globes was a big night for DiCaprio, who took home a statuette for Best Actor in a Drama for his role as Hugh Glass in The Revenant, which won Best Motion Picture Drama. Gambit will start filming in New Orleans in March. Local ABC news station WGNO confirmed the Marvel standalone movie will shoot in Hollywood South this spring, along with several other projects, including Bad Moms with Mila Kunis. Gambit, which will star Channing Tatum as the title role, a.k.a. Remy LeBeau, was to start filming in November, but was delayed due to director Rupert Wyatt's exit. The Bourne Identity helmer, Doug Linnen, has since taken over the movie. In the comics, Gambit is a New Orleans native raised by the Thieves Guild. He is immune, able to convert potential energy in inanimate objects to kinetic energy, and is known for charging playing cards to use as weapons. Tatum told Empire in May, "I love Gambit. I grew up in the South. My father's from Louisiana. We go to New Orleans and I heard all the dialects. It felt so different from the rest of America. It has its own ancient culture, so I identify with that." He also added, "He always felt the most real of the X-Men to me. He's kind of a tortured soul and he's not a good guy, but he's not a bad guy either. He walks his own path, and of course he plays cards and drinks and is a martial art badass." Gambit opens in theaters on October 7th and will co-star Spectrum actress Leah Sedido. Tatum last appeared in The Hateful Eight with Kurt Russell and is also slated for Hail Caesar with George Clooney and 23 Jump Street with Jonah Hill. Avengers: Infinity War will unite the Marvel Universe like never before. Director Joe and Anthony Russo revealed as much to comicbook.com prior to Wizard World New Orleans. The two-part sequel, Part 1, which opens in 2018, will see the Avengers and other characters take on the supervillain Thanos, played by Josh Brolin. Joe said, "The concept of Infinity War is that the Marvel Universe unites to battle the greatest threat to the world and universe that you've ever seen, and we're going to honor that concept." Brolin will first voice Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in 2017. He also added to the film's outer space scenes, "We're just going to approach the cosmic side with the same fever that we did the Earthbound work we've been doing. We also are going to work hard trying to bring a psychological realism." Thanos' inclusion has sparked speculations Guardians of the Galaxy characters will also appear in the movie. Joe said people will not be disappointed in the amount of characters, with Anthony later adding that they have a broad with 67 characters on it for the film. Marvel released The Avengers in 2012 and the follow-up with Avengers Age of Ultron in 2015. The movie stars Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, and Jeremy Renner, and earned a combined $2.92 billion at the box office. Guardians of the Galaxy, meanwhile, featured Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Vin Diesel, Dave Bautista, and Bradley Cooper, and grossed $773 million. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 opens May 5th, 2017, with Infinity War Part 1 to follow May 4th, 2018, and Part 2 on May 3rd, 2019. Sean Penn was unwittingly playing to a different audience than usual when he visited drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the Mexican government. Mexico City newspaper El Universal printed a series of photos on its website depicting Penn and Mexican actress Kate Del Castillo en route to meet with El Chapo, which was chronicled in Rolling Stone magazine. The photos were reportedly obtained from a Mexican government intelligence file and appeared to depict Penn and Del Castillo at an airport and a hotel prior to their summit with El Chapo. The file reportedly also indicates that the government had been following de Castillo's contacts with the drug lord and his legal representative since 2014 and possibly earlier. Penn has been met with heavy criticism over his meeting and subsequent interview with El Chapo, who was captured by authorities on Friday. However, while the actor is said to be wanted for questioning by Mexican authorities, it does not appear that the Fast Times at Ridgemont High star is in any legal jeopardy. Defense attorney Mark Gregos dismissed the notion that Penn could land in legal hot water over the meetup. He even suggested that the actor could be due some compensation. Gregos said, "From a purely factual standpoint, I'm not so sure that his interview didn't directly lead to the arrest of El Chapo. If there's a reward for his capture, Sean Penn may collect the reward." Khloe Kardashian says her brother Rob is doing well following his recent health scare. The 31-year-old reality star opened up about the 28-year-old sock designer in an interview with Access Hollywood. Rob Kardashian was diagnosed with diabetes after being rushed to the hospital in late December. Kardashian said of her brother, "He's taking it seriously. I think everything happens for a reason. If that was going to wake him up a little and take, not his life, but his health more seriously, then that's what the hospitalization was for." She admitted it was really scary. We were at home and he kept having troubles breathing. We just realized it was more serious and just hearing him breathe was really bad. His insulin was just crazy. Something happened where it could shut down his body. Rob Kardashian has struggled with his weight in recent years and rarely appears in public or in social media. Kardashian encouraged her brother on Instagram prior to his hospitalization and shared her hopes for the designer in 2016 with E! News. The star told the website, "I know it's early, but I think I've seen such a great transformation in him just mentally right now. Again, it's only been a week, but I hope that sticks, and I'm always praying and rooting for Rob. I'm very hopeful. We'll got to get Rob back out there doing his thing." Khloe Kardashian is also dealing with his estranged husband Lamar Odom's health problems. The reality star said the 36-year-old former NBA player is doing amazing in recovery last week, and Odom was reportedly moved to a new facility over the weekend. Fictional President Frank Underwood continues to campaign for re-election in the latest teaser for Netflix's House of Cards Season 4. The new clip, which features Underwood addressing the nation, was aired Sunday alongside the Golden Globe Awards. Played by Kevin Spacey, Underwood says, "They say we get the leaders we deserve. I think America deserves Frank Underwood, and in your heart, you know I'm right." Over the course of his speech, the teaser acts as a retrospective on the series, cutting to key moments from the show's past seasons, including the disposal of Underwood's most hated enemies. House of Cards Season 4 will be made available for streaming on Netflix starting March 4th. Spacey's co-star Robin Wright, who plays First Lady Claire Underwood, was nominated for a Golden Globe Best Performance by Actress in the TV series drama, but lost to Empire's Taraji P. Henson. Laverne Cox says Orange is the New Black will continue to evolve in Season 4. The 31-year-old actress discussed the Netflix drama's new season at the 2016 Golden Globe Awards on Sunday. The show was nominated for Best Musical or Comedy Series at the ceremony, but lost to Mozart in the Jungle, starring Gael Garcia Bernal. The star told E! News, "I'm so grateful to be a part of this show that changed my life and has unprecedented diversity of women on television. We just finished shooting Season 4 and we're going deeper into the issues of these women and the criminal justice system, and it's getting even more real if you can believe it." Cox plays transgender inmate Sophia Burset on Orange is the New Black and was last seen being sent to solitary confinement in Season 3. The actress told People she's honored to star in the series and praises the show's compelling human stories. She said, "There's never been a cast as diverse as ours when it comes to representing women on television. To be a part of something that not only means so much to people but also get critical acclaim and get nominated for a Golden Globe is like a dream come true." She also added, "Sophia's being placed in solitary confinement is such a real reality that a lot of trans people experience every day in prison. So I love that we go there and deal with this issue." She added of her character's forthcoming storyline. Actor John Boyega is looking forward to Star Wars Episode 8. The 23-year-old English actor discussed the forthcoming sequel with British Vogue just 3 weeks after Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, opened in theaters. He said, "We're just starting working on Star Wars 8, the next film, so I'm back to keeping secrets again." He said of the Hush Hush project. He also added, "It's great, much darker, but we're very excited. My part in the next film will be much more physical, so I might be in the gym a bit more." Boyega and fellow newcomer Daisy Ridley stars as Finn and Rey, respectively, in The Force Awakens. The 23-year-old English actress praised Rian Johnson's script for Episode 8 to Variety in December, saying, "It's very good, very good." She added of the character's relationship with Finn, "He's sure of himself, kind of like me and John. He's pretty sure of himself, and that's helpful. That's like an anchor. And he's brave. He tries to do the right thing, and he risks things for her, and that never happened to her before. Boyega made his feature film debut in Attack the Block in 2011. Photos of the actors from a Getty stock photo shoot resurfaced and began to circulate following The Force Awakens, much to his amusement over the weekend. Farrah Abraham and Nicki Minaj didn't hold back in a Twitter argument Sunday. The 24-year-old reality star and 33-year-old rapper traded insults on the social media site after Minaj called out Abraham for her treatment of her mother, Deborah Danielson. Abraham and Danielson have had an often contentious relationship, as seen on Teen Mom. Minaj, who was catching up with the MTV reality series, started the spat by tweeting, "Farrah is such a C" to her mother. She followed up by chiding, "Your mother didn't open her legs and have that child. Be happy she's helping. Stop talking to her like that on TV." Abraham shot back by tweeting, "'Cause you're a parent, right? Your videos look like porn. Horrible, good luck being negative. Hashtag God bless, busy making TV." She later insisted, "To be clear, my mother doesn't help me, I help her. I love and care for my mom. Stop disgusting talk," at Nicki Minaj, and called the rapper a rerun-watching ignorant minion. Abraham was 17 years old when she had daughter Sophia in February 2009. The father, Abraham's ex-boyfriend Derek Underwood, had died 2 months before, and she later battled Danielson for control over Sophia's care. Teen Mom, known now as Teen Mom OG, airs Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The latest episode saw Abraham ask Danielson to watch Sophia for a month as she filmed Celebrity Big Brother, while the next episode will see the pair talk about backlash on social media. Keith Urban is getting ready to hit the road again with a new world tour to promote his upcoming album, Ripcord. The tour, announced Monday, starts June 2nd in Kansas City and runs until November 19th in Brooklyn, with the country star performing at 50 locations across North America. The tour will have Urban return to perform inside arenas and amphitheaters for the first time in 2 years. The 48-year-old singer said, "I'm always trying to work more on how to connect and how to do things more intimately in that larger setting. I want to bring in some other elements to the show musically that are different than what we've done before. Think about how to incorporate some of the old material in a new way, potentially reaching into some album tracks from way back." Accompanying Urban on the tour will be Brett Eldridge and country newcomer Marin Morris, who was invited after impressing Urban with her singing ability. He said of first hearing Morris, "The song was 80s Mercedes, and it was just immediate. I was like, oh my God, this is a big single right here," and every song had that thing. She's just one of those people that people need to hear. Until the tour commences, Urban will continue to work on the still unfinished Ripcord and can be seen judging America's Idol's final season on Wednesday and Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on Fox. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1981, Dynasty premieres on ABC. The oil tycoon Blake Carrington, played by John Forsythe, prepares to marry his former secretary, the beautiful and innocent Crystal, played by Linda Evans, in the 3-hour television movie that kicks off the primetime ABC soap opera Dynasty on this date in 1981. Over the next 8 years, the Carringtons, a rich Denver oil clan, and another wealthy family, the Colbys, would form the center of the campy, glamorous universe that was Dynasty. Envisioned as bitter rivals in the style of the Montagues and Capulets of Romeo and Juliet, the two families intermarry and plot against each other with equal enthusiasm. At the beginning of the second season, as the buzz around the show began to grow, the British actress Joan Collins entered the mix as Blake Carrington's evil ex-wife Alexis. Her clash with the good girl Crystal became one of the central plot lines of the show. In one of the series' most memorable moments, Alexis and Crystal had a catfight in a lily pond. Dynasty's elaborate melodramatic plot lines resembled those of the daytime soap operas: kidnappings, amnesia, characters returning from the dead, etc., and its style perfectly fit with the over-the-top excess of the 1980s. It was no wonder, as the show was produced partly by Aaron Spelling, the man behind such hits as The Mod Squad, Charlie's Angels, and The Love Boat, Beverly Hills 90210, and Melrose Place. By the end of the 1982-1983 season, Dynasty was fifth in the top-rated programs. It climbed to third place in 1983 and 1984 and grabbed the number one spot in 1984 and 1985. Its success spawned a short-lived spin-off, Dynasty 2, The Colbys, an entire line of licensed products such as clothing, bedding, and perfume. And that is your entertainment report for Tuesday, January 12, 2016. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.